about our biography break today. We've got a great book, we've got a baseball hat, and a baseball jersey. I guess our person's a baseball player. You know, when I was a little girl, I grew up for a long time in California, and one of the things that my family liked to do was to go to professional baseball games. And we'd go see the LA Dodgers, but you know, even before they were the LA Dodgers, they were the Brooklyn Dodgers. So this is a throwback jersey to that time, long time ago. But wanted to wear it, you know, because we are reading about a baseball player. We're going to read about William Hoy. He changed baseball in a big way, and you're going to find out why. This book was written by Nancy Churnin. She wrote it about his life. The illustrator is Jez Tuya. He's the one that drew all the pictures. And the Albert Whitman Company, they're the ones that published the books. This is called The William Hoy Story, How a Deaf Baseball Player Changed the Game. Now, before we get started, I want you to think about something. If you're up at bat and the pitcher throws a strike, do you know what the umpire does? You know what he says. He says, strike! But he does something with his hands too, doesn't he? What about if the pitcher throws you a ball? What does the umpire do then? What about if you're running to first base and you outrun the throw and you're safe? You're going to find out why in this story. William scooped dust to dry the sweat off his slick rubber ball. He stared at the small X he'd chalked on the barn wall. He closed his eyes. He opened them and threw. Bam! He hit the mark. He stepped back so he could try again. His mother waved her arms. She was applauding him. She touched her fingers to her mouth to signal eating. He read her lips as she said, dinner. William pulled out his pad and pencil. He scribbled, just a few more. I want to be perfect for tryouts. His mother nodded. His family was passing mashed potatoes round the table when William pushed open the door. He read his father's lips telling him to wash up for dinner. He also read what his father's lips mouthed to his mother. Baseball, he said, shaking his head. It'll never last. Still, William couldn't wait to try out at his school, the Ohio State School for the Deaf. At tryouts, he threw the ball. He caught it. He batted. He waited. Too small, the team captain said. William never got much taller than 5'5". He couldn't do anything about that. But maybe they'd give him another chance if he aimed better and ran faster. So every day after homework and chores, he practiced. One day, William was standing outside the cobbler shop where he fixed shoes, wistfully watching men play baseball in a far-off field. A foul ball crashed at his feet. With his strong, sure arm, he threw the ball straight into an amazed player's waiting hand. Hey, kid, the player called. Want to join us? But William couldn't read the player's lips from where he was, so he turned back to work. The man ran to William and tapped his back to get his attention. William whirled around, and this time, when the man repeated the question, he understood. He scrambled happily to the outfield. William threw the ball smack into his teammate's hands. When he was up at bat, he sent it soaring where no one could catch it. "What's your name?" asked one of the players. "William Hoy," William wrote. The man looked at the piece of paper a long time. He seemed to be thinking. "Do you want to try out for our team?" he asked William at last. William grinned. He sure did. William soon learned that life in the hearing world wasn't easy. Unlike his parents, few people used sign language in the 1880s, and certainly not in baseball. He won a spot on the first team he tried out for, but the manager smirked when he offered William less money than he paid the others. "I quit," William told them with his notebook. He quickly found another team. But even on his new team, some players talked behind his back so he wouldn't know what they were saying. Others hid their mouths so he couldn't read their lips. One day, a pitcher played the meanest trick of all. William let 3 pitches go by because he thought they were balls. He was too far to read the umpire's lips and didn't know that they were actually strikes. He stood gripping his bat, waiting for the next pitch. But the next pitch never came. William was confused. Suddenly, the pitcher burst out laughing. He pointed to the fans in the stands, laughing too. William's face grew hot. He walked off quickly. He wasn't going to cry. Not about baseball, he told himself. He jammed his hands in his pockets. Paper crunched against his fist. He pulled out a letter from his mother. He read again how much she missed him. William missed his family too. He remembered how his mom would raise her hands to applaud him. That's it. William pulled out his pad and drew pictures. He scribbled words next to the pictures. He wrote, he wrote, he wrote. He ran to find the umpire. The umpire read William's notes. "Yes, that could work," he said. The next time William was at bat, the umpire raised his right hand for a strike and his left hand for a ball. He used American Sign Language symbols for safe and out. This time, William got on base. He stole bases. He scored. In his first year in the majors, he led the National League in stolen bases. With his strong, sure arm, he became the first player to throw 3 base runners out at the plate in one game from the outfield. William taught his teammates signs so they could discuss plays without the other team overhearing. They loved it. The fans enjoyed learning signs too. In those days, before speakers and giant screens, hearing the umpire's calls from the back of the bleachers was hard to do. Now, even the farthest member of the crowd could see the signals. Teams begged for William. He played for several before signing with the Cincinnati Reds near his family's farm. William was proud to show his parents that the boy who didn't make the school team was one of the most popular players in baseball. When William stepped up to the plate, shaking his bat over his shoulders, fans knew he'd hit or walk his way to first, then swiftly steal his way around the bases. Carefully watching the signals, he led the American League in walks in 1901. He was called the King of Center Field because for 10 years he was ranked among the top 5 outfielders to get hitters out by catching hard-to-reach fly balls. After William became a star, he thought nothing could surprise him. Then one day, when he ran out into the field, fans waved their arms from the stands, just as his mother did when he was a boy. They waved hats, too. William said he'd never cry about baseball, but he did cry at the sight of deaf applause. All he'd wanted to do since he was a boy was to find a way to play his favorite game. He never dreamed he'd change how the game was played, but he did, and we still cheer him today. That's the end of his biography, but if you check this book out, you can read more about William Hoy, and then you can see a timeline of his life. When he was born, President Lincoln was the president. And in 1961, he threw out the first pitch during Game 3 of the World Series between the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees. When he died, he was 99 years old, and President Kennedy was in office. And so that's the true story of how William Hoy changed the game of baseball. So go get your mitt and glove and ball and hat and get outside and play some baseball. See you next time.